Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Unfiltered Podcast. We're your host, Marco Barella.
And Mr. Troy Scherzer. I would
Oh,
like to put this out. This is the second time we're
oh my
recording this
God.
because of Marco's bitch ass, because he
It
decided to
was,
mess up the audio file.
it wasn't my fault.
What
It
an
was just the
idiot.
technical difficulties, but it's
Yeah,
fine.
technical difficulties,
We
my
got
ass.
a juicy episode for you guys. A lot of updates on cases, the downfall of the Philadelphia Phillies, which I'm looking forward to that conversation. We got a lot of
Well, remember, it's
stuff.
not downfall yet, so calm your britches.
It's the downfall of Philly.
I wouldn't say it.
Um,
The game's not over. At least
We'll
we're in
get
the
to that
playoffs.
later, but by the way, if you guys are not subscribed, make sure you guys do that, please. Or I don't know, quickly shout out to the people that supported our episode 2 weeks ago. 82 views on YouTube. Thank you guys so very
Yes,
much.
sir.
But like I said, we have a very nice episode for you guys today. So it's kind of an ongoing bit on the channel that we like to talk about real world cases and stuff that's going on. Primarily four of them at the moment. But out of the four, three of them have big updates that we're going to talk about. Starting with the Rajay Jackson case. We talked about it a few weeks ago. That he got arrested, but was later bailed out for 50,000. But it was announced last night, the 6th. Will face criminal charges for delivering bodily beatdown to professional wrestler in Los Angeles earlier in the summer. Authorities said on Monday. Raja will be charged with one count of felony battery that caused serious bodily injury and one count of a misdemeanor battery in connection with the incident at Knox Pro County Wrestling Academy, according to the spokesperson to the LA County District Attorney's Office. So not the attempted murder charges like we and Troy thought and many people thought. Very clearly fucking looked like it was a attempted murder because Jesus, that fucking video was messed up. Um, we're not sure about how long that correlates to prison sentence. But I'm sure it's gonna be a long time. Well, what did you thought? What did you thought this was gonna happen, Troy, or what were you thinking that was gonna
I'm a little
happen?
surprised. I did think he was going to get hit a little bit harder. Um, I mean, other than that,
Yeah.
honestly, it's the whole thing is like, I don't know. I don't know how
Interesting.
Rampage I don't know how um what's his name? I'm trying to think. Why can't I remember him? The big guy. The big white guy that got pummeled.
Psycho Stu.
Psycho Stu. That's what I was thinking.
Mm.
Sorry. Just need a drink. I don't know how he's feeling about the whole situation. I think that's the main point if we're going to really come down to it, because nobody else's opinion really matters other than his.
It's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's his case. It's not anybody else's. With that being said, maybe he does want this to happen, and maybe I don't know. I don't know if, because the whole thing is, if he might get this and he might, make a deal or whatever the case may be, which is great for him, or he might get the belt and get sent to prison for a couple of years. I don't. It's, you know what I mean?
Well, it's definitely. I get what you mean. I think that again, like you said, we don't know the thought process behind him. I'm
Yeah.
sure his family wants justice for him, but maybe he doesn't. Or I
Yeah.
mean, it's still a
I'm
mixed
more.
bag.
I'm more thinking they're gonna try to maybe get money. Not get. I shouldn't say they're trying to, rip them off and get money out of them. They're righteously so should get money out of this situation. I just feel like maybe, solve it with on the money side, and maybe some, not parole. What's it called?
Well,
Community service and I'm trying to think,
house arrest.
because parole is out of prison. What's it when, like, you get regularly checks, like if you have one slip up, you go immediately into jail? Is that parole? No. Parole's outside of jail. What's that? Just I'm trying to think.
I don't know.
It's more of like a slap on the wrist. You got to make sure you're being good. Anyway, you people, you know what I'm talking about, kind of.
Smarter people.
Um, Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like that might be more of the where they're gonna come from more than a hard hit, sentence, I guess I should put it. Yeah. That's my spiel. That's my
Yeah.
spiel.
I mean, like, I definitely do think that it could be anybody's call. I'm sure they're gonna want recommissioned and reimbursed from, like, I'm sure hospital bills, physical therapy bills, and just overall emotional damage.
Yep.
And rightfully so. Raja should be, punished to the fullest extent. Can I go on what I was saying? A criminal complaint is expected to be filed on Tuesday, today. According to the district attorney's office, calls and emails to Jackson and his representatives were not immediately returned. It was not clear if he retained an attorney. Um, police did not present a case to prosecutors for charging until late last week. Authorities said Jackson is expected to appear in court in an arrangement later this week. So
Yeah.
it's an ongoing case, and we're probably gonna have an update for you tomorrow, next week, or the next 2 weeks.
That's our hope. Yeah. That's our hope.
Like I said,
We'll
we're
have
not
something for
sure
you guys.
because I'm not sure. Maybe like California has different rules and penalized sentences for this. Well, I'm not sure, but he's gonna be facing some sort of jail time. If not, like maybe like community service, maybe a settlement. Maybe he's just gonna have to pay a humongous ass fine for like emotional, physical damage. Who knows? We'll keep you updated on that
That's
though.
honestly what I'm thinking it's gonna be. But
They're gonna settle it outside of
obviously that could
court.
be real.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Or it could be inside court, just you gotta pay to the amount of whatever it may be.
Mm. Either way, the
It's
motherfucker
just
deserve what's coming to him. Because fuck that
yeah,
guy.
honestly.
Moving on to more of a recent case, the one we were talking about 2 weeks ago with David. It was breaking news a couple days ago, I think yesterday or 2 days ago, that he was announced that he was not, as of right now, not involved with the murder of the teenager, which is big surprise to everybody. Authorities said
Yes.
that there's no evidence linking musician David, also known as David Anthony Burke, to the
Which is
death
crazy.
of the
Which is
15-year-old.
crazy.
Yeah,
That
because
whole thing is bizarre to
yeah,
me, to be honest with
all
you.
the fingers point to fucking him because I know he's because the Tesla was registered, but the body was found in him, and
Yeah.
if you didn't watch that episode, go watch it because we go more into detail about the case when it was just happened. Um, but David hired top attorney Blair Burke, which we'll talk about in a little bit, and is cooperating with law enforcement while no arrest or suspects have been confirmed in the case as of right now. There, Rivera Hernandez remains were discovered September 8th in a vehicle in the impound lot. The medical examiner's office in LA, cause of death is deferred, which means that further testing is required because again, we talked about how she was badly beaten and the body was all messed up when they found it. Officials are still working to determine how she died. Now, here's where it kind of raised a couple eyebrows. David hired Los Angeles attorney Blair Burke, who is known for representing high-profile clients such as Harvey Weinstein, Lindsay Lohan, Kanye West, Mel Gibson, and Britney Spears. Criminal defense attorney Alexander Karzarian, sorry if I'm butchering that, said Burke likely advised Burke to remain silent while the investigation continues. Smart option. I mean, if you're a millionaire in Los Angeles, I'm sure you want the best of the best, especially on a high
Yeah,
profile
really.
case like this.
Oh, 100%.
Makes him look a little suspicious, but I mean, like I said, if if you have a lot of money,
Well,
you want the
to be
best.
honest, you want the best of the best because you don't want evidence
Mm,
getting, swept under the rug or things getting ignored or things getting missed.
yeah,
You do want a really good attorney, no matter if you're innocent or guilty. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you want a good attorney because you're gonna get the best outcome having the best defense.
yeah,
It's just like
exactly.
football. It's just like football. It's just like
It's
everything
just
else.
like football.
Defense wins games.
Of course, you'll make it about football. But no, yeah, you're right. Very. I mean, it could. This could go both ways because, like I said, it's very questionable on why he will not be involved because considering how the victim's mom said that she was dating somebody named David before she went away, and the whole matching tattoo thing. But
Yeah,
he seems to be
weird, but
cooperating with authorities, which is a sign of good faith. Police conducted the throughout search of Burke's home or David's home. After the body was found, authorities collected evidence, but the LAPD has not linked David to the crime. Investigators are awaiting
mm,
results from the medical examiner to confirm the death of the manner of it. So they still don't know the cause of the death. Um, but like I said, as of right now, they're saying that David has no correlation, which makes me think that if it's not him, it might be someone in David's inner circle that has access to his Tesla and his house and his inner
yeah,
circle of connections.
I agree.
So who knows?
I totally agree.
I'm very curious to see what you guys think. So tell me what you guys think in the comments. But I don't know. It's a very fascinating case, and we'll keep you guys updated on that as that goes. But the heavy hitter of today, I guess technically this is the end of the case as of right now, is Diddy. P. Diddy was officially found guilty as of October 3rd. He was sentenced to 4 years or 50 months in prison. This was one of the biggest cases this past year or two. A lot of fingers pointing, a lot of powerful testimonies, a lot of pictures and evidence that have gone through the press. But after about a year in court, it was finally determined that he was guilty. But to be specific, he was found guilty on 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. But he was found not guilty on the sex trafficking and racketeering charges, which big surprise to me because I thought that was the big ones that he was going to found guilty on. The
I
judge
agree.
stated that the substantial sentence was necessary to, quote, send a message to abusers and victims alike that exploitation and violence against women is met with real accountability, end quote, which is, fair sentence. Um, I'm very surprised, like I said, well, because, like, that was kind of like the big things that he was found guilty. The whole infamous Diddy party and how, sexually, abusive some of the testimonies claimed.
Yeah,
Um, what are your thoughts on that?
I it for me it's all a little weird. I don't mean
Mm.
all in all, you just got to kind of leave it up to see what happens. I mean, what do you think? What do you think? What would I know you're just kind of reading
No, yeah.
what you got notes, but what do you think?
I mean, me
I want to
personally,
kind of
I
like
think he
spitball
should have
off
been
you
sentenced for
after.
more. I think he
Hmm.
should have been longer because I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know every single minute detail of the case,
Yeah.
but from what the outside people and the public knows, like it's just damning evidence. You even have other people like Kid Cudi coming into testimony against Diddy about how
Yeah.
he publicly vandalized his house, he burned his car and shit, like, which is a whole other case on its own.
I
But
know. And that whole with all the people coming forward, I'm surprised. Now, one thing, did you mention about parole or no? I missed that.
no, not yet,
Did you
no,
just Okay.
no.
I was going to say the surprise to me is that he is eligible for parole after
Mhm.
1/3 of his sentencing. Now, if the timeline's correct, if he serves his whole term, he'll get out in late 2029. Which makes about sense because it's 50-month term, which is 4 months to or sorry 4 years and 2 months, and it's only a year and a half that he has to serve before he's out. So it's possible that he's out next year,
That's fucking
which is
insane.
crazy. But there's a chance that he is out late next year if because
That would
I
be
don't
fucking
because
heartbreaking
my
for
whole
the
thing is
victims.
everywhere I keep seeing that the whole I know you mentioned before about the layover of like he's been in jail and so it's kind of that's going to count towards
Yeah,
his
so
sentence.
he'll receive credit
But
for his time that he's been in custody since last September of 2024.
see, it seems like all the things I'm seeing is he's still like his like if he doesn't get out early, he's still getting out in 2029, which is the full 50 months.
Mm.
So I don't know if they're counting that like the previous time he spent
I don't know what they mean
as
by
kind of like
credit. I mean, like,
yeah, that's
because
my hope because
technically,
maybe they
yeah.
want to give him like 60, 60 some months but instead because he already served, a year or so, they're giving him 50 months. That's my only thought, maybe that something like that's
Oh no.
happening. They're kind of they gave him a year off sentencing because he's been in custody for the past year. That's kind of where my head's coming. Now, do you think he's going to get out early or no? I think he is.
I feel like
If
knowing,
he's good behavior,
yeah.
he'll be out. You know what I
From
mean?
what
I don't know.
it's been reported, he has been like decently well behaved in prison, so there's a very good possibility that he is.
Yeah.
I think he does. Unfortunately, I think after 2 years, however, I think they're gonna deny the first time because I think they're gonna try to do this as quick as possible and soon as possible. So I say he doesn't get out until 2027, but I
Okay.
just
Yeah.
think that he doesn't serve the full 4 years, unfortunately, which kind of
That
sucks
makes
because
sense.
I think he should be in prison for much longer. But that's besides the point. I mean, the real conversation to be having is what will happen and what will he do once he gets out of prison,
Yeah.
which I'm very curious to
Correct.
see what he'll do.
Which I believe I forget how long, but he is under supervised watch for I think at least 2 years, maybe longer. Maybe I think it was 5, maybe 5 years. So, he's got 5 years of he's got to be good, and then he can go for the little boys again, or
Fucking
the men.
insane, or the sex trafficking, or fucking
Yeah, something like
Meek
that.
Mill. Who knows? Fucking
Exactly.
insane. But what's crazy is that
You're gonna.
allegedly yesterday, the 6th of October, during a White House press conference, I don't know how the topic came along, but a reporter asked Trump something along the lines of pardons.
Mm,
And he mentioned that allegedly Diddy asked Trump for a full pardon, which who knows if that's true or not, because who knows what Trump says anymore. But
yeah,
probably knowing the desperate nature of Diddy, here probably
probably
want
dead.
to get the fuck out of there as soon as
Mm,
possible. Which I mean,
yeah.
probably I think knowing that, I'm hoping and I'm really praying that Trump says no, but that's just my
Oh, I'm sure he will. I'm sure he'll say no. He's not gonna pardon him while he's president, if that is the case. Now, mind you, I don't think he's gonna pardon him at all. I think it's just more of a desperation. Hey, you know, we've met before. Let me out, which is
Mm.
crazy, but
Who
yeah,
knows? I mean, I really do
that's
think
not what I'm
he
feeling.
doesn't get the pardon, thank God.
Yeah,
But it is a fucking disaster. And it's a fucking complete shit show on that case. But that is an end to that case, I suppose, as of now. I'm sure in a couple years we'll go back to it and say what happens. But
yeah, kind of. It's bittersweet because this is actually our first case that has actually ended. You know what I
it's
mean? Like we have
true.
an actual end. Everything
Yeah.
else is still open. Um, and it's kind of cool
Fuck
that
you,
we
Diddy. Fuck you, Diddy.
we have an answer. We have answers. That's always good. It's always good to have answers.
Mm, exactly. And speaking of disasters, the
All right.
Philadelphia Phillies
I'm gonna address
postseason.
this before Marco's clown ass
Let me
wants
hear
to try
this.
to lay it on the Phillies.
No, no, no. You don't even know what I'm gonna
Can
say.
you really quick remind me who didn't make the playoffs this year?
I've
One
heard
of
this
the
argument plenty of times, and
no
I'm
no no
very
no.
glad. No, no, no,
It's
no.
not
I'm answering. I'm
argument.
answering. No, it is an
No, hold on.
argument.
No,
It is
no,
very an
there
argument.
isn't. No, Marco, this isn't an argument. It is a fact. What team did not make the playoffs this year
The
that
Mets.
spent over $300 million in this past offseason signing players?
300 million is a very flattering number, but it's way above 300 million. By the way,
Oh, and I'm saying I think because remember, people's contracts are. I'm I'm considering like each person's contract all together, like per year together, not their entire contract. Because obviously, if we're talking about Juan Soto, it is way over 300 million. So
the Mets.
I
Yes,
think that I'm saying all together. Anyway, which team? Real quick, just remind me. Just I'm not. It's not argumentative. I just want to
it
know which
is.
team did not
It's very
make the
clearly the Mets.
playoffs.
Your point is.
And you want to shit on my Phillies because they lost
Yes.
2 games after they got a
Mm,
first round bye.
mm. Yeah.
mind you. We
Which
actually
we
did
know
that
that
good
doesn't
in the
really
regular
matter.
season, even though you
Doesn't
guys
really
didn't
matter.
make it, so you don't even have a chance.
It doesn't matter.
Anyway, yeah. Whatever you're gonna say is, Mets fanboy over here wants to try to shit
I
on another
am
team because
simply
he didn't make
announcing
it to
this
the
as
playoffs.
someone who is an actual baseball fan, because as you know, first round buy-ins don't mean shit. Because guess who beat the Phillies last year with the first round buy-in? The New York Mets. So we all know that doesn't fucking matter. Second of all,
Yeah.
to your point, as of right now, I'll get to my point later. Dodgers are up 2-0 at the time of recording this in the NLDS against the Phillies. Um, as someone who watches them, and I guess Troy, now I want to ask you now a question, Troy. Do you admit that the Phillies are playing some shit baseball right now, besides the pitching?
I do agree. I do agree that people
Wow,
are
so we
not showing up.
agree on something. Out of the two
We agree
games
on a
that have
lot. You
played,
just don't like hearing other people's opinions and facts.
I,
You only like
I
your opinion, mister.
my opinions are facts. Just like how it's a fact
Okay.
how Turner, Schwarber, and Harper are combined 2 for 30 with 11 strikeouts. Which,
Yep.
mind you, statistical fact, when even worse, the Phillies $927 million in contracts with the Big Five and Harper, Turner, Realmuto, Castellanos, and Schwarber, in order of payroll outlay, are 2 for 6 with 11 strikeouts and 2 walks through 14 fucking innings. You want to talk about money and being somebody big for fucking nothing? 927 million, really? You gonna counteract that? How are you gonna spin this? How are you gonna spin that?
I'm not spinning it. They're not
Hmm?
showing up. They need to do better. That's what what it comes down to is they need to do better.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
I mean, I mean,
There's nothing
turn.
about it. Everybody knows they got it. They have to turn it around now. Like tomorrow is the day to turn around, which Wednesday when this comes out, they'll be playing, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. They need to turn around, which my prediction is they will get one win. My prediction
Mm.
is they will get at least one win, and then we'll see about game 4. And
All right.
maybe they'll be able to keep the momentum going. Their biggest thing is they need that momentum. I actually think having the first round bye kill them, actually hurt them more than help them. With injuries and resting and everything. I think that momentum killer of just not playing for a week, I think really set them off, and that's why they're not doing very well right away. So that's why I'm thinking maybe tomorrow they know it's all or nothing. It's win or go home. So I'm thinking that if they can win tomorrow, get the ball rolling, get that momentum going, if they can get that second win, that third win is ours. I think if this goes to a game 5, Phillies are winning. Because obviously that momentum is huge for Philly between the fans, the players, everywhere, and all over the place. Momentum is huge for this team, which is not great to say, but I think if they can get that ball rolling and get 2 wins straight, they're winning the third game. They're moving on.
Uh, we'll see.
However,
Very
if they
see.
don't win tomorrow, it is what it is. You know what I mean? They had a great regular season. Very disappointing in the playoffs, but at least they made the playoffs.
I mean, that's the thing, right? Is that before I don't. Not to point, sound biased, but I'm gonna sound biased. You could say all the things about for Phillies being first place. Great. Honestly, I don't give a shit. But for that saying, if you come in first place, you got to show for it. Phillies have been first place the past 5 years, almost damn near. But they always have come short. They got to the World Series in 2022. They came up short. 2023, they lost to the Diamondbacks. 2024, they lost to the Mets. 2025, it looks like they're about to be beaten to the Dodgers. So all the whole
Fair enough.
contract shit,
Yeah.
but that being
No.
said,
Let me ask you this really quick. When was the last year the
the
Mets
Mets
made
won the
the
World
World
Series.
Series?
Yeah, so
No,
cool.
what?
Okay,
Not
cool.
even one made the World Series.
2015, they lost. Big deal.
Yep.
One, it's been in the
Okay.
80s. When's the last time the Phillies won a World Series? It's been damn near a decade as
2008.
well. So
Yeah. No. I
point is,
win.
both
Yeah.
teams,
I'm saying
it's
made.
not really a valid argument. I'm just pointing the facts and how the Phillies are too good of a team to fucking choke like this. I'm
I agree.
saying it
I
as a
agree.
Met. Of course you're gonna agree, but as someone who's not a Phillies fan, it's disappointing as shit because I was expecting a
Oh.
fucking
I'm
good.
not. You're you. I think Phillies fans are the most pissed off right now over anybody else because
There you go. You
we
sound like
did
a
so
Met
well.
fan now.
No,
Good.
I'm not a Met fan.
You sound like it because I said the
I'm
same thing
saying
about
the
my
facts. No,
Mets.
everybody's disappointed. Literally every Philly fan is disappointed in how they're doing right now. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows they should be doing so much better.
Mm.
So that's why they need to pick this up. If they don't pick this up, well,
But that
you know,
that's the thing is that like I was expecting a fucking big beefy home run like slugfest, but like it's just not there. But what I'm very surprised it's there is the starting pitching. You have Christopher Sanchez
that
dealing game one.
that pitching is crazy. That
4 hits,
pitching
two
is
one
lights
runs,
out
8 strikeouts. You have Lazardo
now.
yesterday with 6 innings, 3 hits, 2 1 runs, and 5 Ks. Fucking absolutely dealing. But the bullpen, however, has not been good, which is the one thing that I was kind of skeptical on. Because if you went back to last week, I said that it was kind of like the opposite. I thought the Dodgers bullpen would not be rocky, but their Dodger bullpen have been just elite, especially with Roki Sasaki, the Japanese closer now, who's just
Yep.
been lights out for the Dodgers. But it seemed like it's the opposite. Um, very surprised. I'm very surprised that the Philly bullpen has just not been good. And it sucks because, like I said, like the Phillies starter has just been lights out. It's just like the bats, it's
That
just not
bullpen, well, game 2 was a lot better showing. I think game 2 was a lot better showing. Game 1,
of what
they
bullpen.
need to not put in that 40-year-old fuck that should not even be pitching for us. However, somehow he still is. But that's just my humble opinion.
Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
Well,
Fuck, the Yankees just tied up the Blue Jays. God damn it. Fuck. So at the time of
it's
recording this,
hilarious.
both ALDS games are happening. The Jays and Yankees and Mariners and Tigers. Fucking Judge just hit a 3-run bomb to tie it up at 6-6, which is very
That's awesome.
surprising because I was just about to mention the fucking Judge effect with Schwarber, how you have a lights out regular season, have a dog shit postseason, which is it seemed to be
Yeah.
happening, but of course, as soon as I went about to say that, Judge just hit a 3-run bomb to tie it.
Yep.
But we were like sort of right and wrong about our predictions. I forgot I didn't write it down, but we were wrong about the Red Sox beating the Yankees. We were wrong about the Guardians. We were right about the Dodgers and the fucking we were about the Cubs. I think we were. Um, but yeah. So the thing is that like it all comes down to tomorrow. I think it's Aaron Nola versus Yoshinobu Yamamoto, which is a good match. Nola has been a little iffy lately,
Yes.
but I know he can.
I think if he can get his shit together, I think it's going to be a great fucking game, and I think this is where the Phillies' momentum picks up.
Oh man, I can't wait to come back to this.
I'm
And
excited. I'm excited for it tomorrow. I really am. I think tomorrow's our day to come back, and now if they don't and they get completely shat on,
oh
it'll be
yeah,
very fucking disappointing. But it is what it is. There's nothing we can do about it. We can just support from afar.
the fuck is we motherfucker? Fuck the Phillies. Anyways,
Go fuck yourself.
um, no, it's very interesting to see. Very disappointing, honestly, because again, we were talking about it last week. This is the window of opportunity for the Phillies are rapidly closing.
I know.
Especially with the performance that Schwarber's having in the postseason, I don't see why the Phillies would want to re-sign him after his performance. So that begs the
You're telling me.
begs the
You're
question,
telling me.
what will that fate look like? Um, but yeah, so as of right now, tomorrow is game 3 in LA. Yamamoto versus Nola. Um, I don't know. Like I said, I do think if the circumstances are there, I think they could wheel and deal. But that's just no excuse, man. Like like you said, like I've sent you multiple TikToks of Phillies fans throwing temper tantrums, and it's kind of funny because every fucking team's done that, including me in the Mets. I'm not denying that, but I just think that teams need to stop putting the blame on other teams for their fucking failures. And honestly, but I expect
Fucking
the
evil
Dodgers.
fans.
I do think it is a rough fucking week for Philadelphia sports fans.
I
That's
know.
fucking fun. Um, but the one thing I want to ask you before pivoting is what were your thoughts on that fucking Bryson Stott bunt play last
I
night?
did not see it, so I actually don't know what you're talking
You
about. To be
don't know?
honest,
Okay,
explain it to me.
so
I don't. Sorry, I didn't
I'm
watch
very
yesterday.
surprised.
You know.
This is one. So after Daniel getting shot the entire game, Castellanos hits a 2 RBI double, and I think it was 4-3. Um, and then in came Roki Sasaki. So Castellanos is at second with no outs. Lefty on the mound. Bryson Stott's at the bat. He shows bunt. He gets the bunt down, and then mind you, like the Dodgers defense already knew that a bunt was coming, so they had to shift correlated to the bunt happening. I'm sure you can look it up on Twitter or YouTube or TikTok real quick, but
Yeah.
um, Castellanos, you know better than anybody, being the fucking one of the slowest players on the Phillies, decides to run obviously to get a third. But Mookie Betts is already at the ball. Oh no, Max Muncy, the third baseman's already at the ball and throws it to Mookie Betts at third, and Castellanos gets out at third. Um, it's very, very, very questionable on, and Rob Thompson obviously got a lot of shit for it, and I don't think it was the right option. If anything,
No.
Stott shouldn't have bunted
This.
towards the third base. He should have bunted towards
Yeah.
first. But Stott has been pretty solid as far as I can see against lefties, especially with no outs and a runner in scoring position. I
I
don't know
totally
why,
agree.
because again, after that happened, it was double play at the end of the game, so that kind of fucked them over.
Yeah.
So they fucked up a runner in score position with no out situation in ninth inning, and I think that's just a poor manager call off of Rob Thompson to fucking do that. If I'm a Philly fan, I'll be fucking upset about that. I don't know why you're depending on Castellanos, the slowest runner in the Phillies, to fucking try to get from
Yeah.
second to
Really.
third. That fucking makes no sense.
Idiots. But you're gonna have your ups and downs. You're gonna have your good plays, your bad plays, and everything else. I'm trying to be optimistic because just trying to be optimistic. Honestly,
I
we'll
mean, I'm
see.
kind
We'll
of
see.
like,
I'm just waiting for tomorrow. I just hope it's gonna
I know.
really
I
work
fucking
out.
course I have work, so I have to watch it at work again. I oh no, yesterday didn't work, but damn near every playoff game. But I'm very, very eager. But I mean, actually, by the time the game starts, it'll be 9, so I'll basically be done work, which is
Mhm.
fucking. I gotta see if I can find this fucking play. Uh, dots fonts. Get your live reaction, because I don't think this was the
So
right play whatsoever. Hold on. I'm gonna send it to main talk. Actually, I'm gonna do clips and articles. I'm gonna send it to that. But I'm very curious to see what do you guys think in the comments down below. How the ALDS will play out in the NLDS. By the time this episode will be out, obviously next week we'll have our results. As of right now, it looks like, I think, if I'm not mistaken, hopefully the Mariners got the W. Yeah, the Mariners won. Good.
gosh, Mariners winning.
Good. I'm so fucking happy because as of right now, my $50 bet is somewhat secured.
Hey, there you go.
Um,
Good shit.
so if the Blue Jays hopefully come back and get this clutch W,
That'd be
then the
nice.
Yankees are eliminated.
Yeah.
But right now the Mariners are winning the series 2-1. A win tomorrow will send them to the championship series, or they could tie it. Who knows? Hopefully not. I will say, however, uh, out of all 4 games, the Mariners and Tigers are putting on the best performance in my opinion, at least of that I've
100%.
enjoyed.
I agree.
Blue Jays and Yankees has just been a fucking ass whooping towards the Yankees. Like I said earlier, like it's a little
Yankees are in
lackluster.
it though. Yankees keep coming back to be in it, which is weird, but
Not
it's true.
really. This is just this game. Other games have been way fucking blown out. But I am surprised about how fucking Judge finally did something. Fucking finally. Um,
Yeah, really.
Phillies and Dodgers were a little lackluster. I expect more from that, but it is what it is. And then I'm really shocked about the Cubs and Brewers. I'm very excited for the Brewers. They're a team that can't really relate to the conversation we just had about money, because they're one of the lowest paid teams, and yet they're
Yep.
putting bat to ball and they're
Yeah.
fucking just dominating.
They're
So
getting it done when they need to. That's the main thing.
that's the clutch gene that they got, and they I'm very so I mean it looks like it's gonna be a Brewer Dodger championship series as of right now. I think both Brewers and Jays are the only teams that Dodgers. Oh no, Dodgers, Blue Jays, and um no no they're the only two teams that have a two game series lead. Everything else
Yeah.
is one.
Yep.
Oh shit, that's a home run. Get out, get out, get out, get out. Oh, that's not a home run.
Yo.
Fuck. Some dude in the Blue Jays got a double. Looks like a tank. Fuck. Who knows? By the way, I'm not sure if I mentioned it on here. The bet that I made with a homie of mine. He's a big Yankee fan. If I'm not sure if I told you either, but if the Yankees go all the way to the championship series,
Mhm.
or the World Series, I pay him
Yeah.
$50. If the
Ooh.
Mariners do it,
Exciting.
I get $50. So as of right now, if the Yankees get eliminated, I'm
Very
the
exciting.
best. You learn literally. But if both teams gets eliminated, neither of us get $50. But I want $50
Yeah.
regardless.
Yeah,
Who knows? As of right now, I mean,
yeah.
time can only tell. I'm very excited to see. But yeah, no, I mean, tell me what you guys think. Do the Phillies, pull a trick up their sleeve, or is it the downfall of the foot of your fucking Phillies, baby? I
I
used
don't
to,
know. You're saying that, but
I
we've
used to
seen this
pray for
before.
times like this, rhyme like this. I'm just a salty hater, but I generally
You are
do.
a little bit.
I just love postseason baseball. This shit's electric. Again, this is what I was saying a couple weeks ago. But fucking, when your team's not in the playoffs, you enjoy it. Fucking, you enjoy playoff baseball a little more, especially when you get to root for teams that you don't like.
Yeah, fair enough.
Who knows?
I
All right. Well, do
I'm just hoping.
you have anything to bring to the table?
I do. I do. I have
Ooh,
a big thing.
a
And
big
you know what
thing.
it is. You didn't mention it, but I gotta mention it.
Mm.
The whole Candace Owens situation.
Oh, that we're going down that route.
Oh. I have 2 pages worth of notes
Oh
of
fuck,
stuff.
it's gonna be a
So
2 hour episode.
I got. I'm gonna try to, because since Marco doesn't really, he might know what's kind of is going on, but he doesn't know the details. I kind of like went down a rabbit hole. Um, and I have all of this is not fully verified. Some of it is, some of it is not. Some of it is like, you know, the person said it. Other thing, or like, relatives has said this. Other things have been like speculation, and I'll try to, if it's speculation, I'll say, I've heard, which is one specific at the very end. Um, I'm gonna, make sure I say that.
Yeah, pin all the
This is
blame
what
on
I've
Troy.
heard. It's
Don't
not
put it on me.
exactly, yeah. But I'm gonna lay the shit out because, whew,
I think I know a lot about what we're about to say, but I want to hear what.
this whole situation is now McFucked up. Now, we talked about this the other day. We were trying to do a more positive episode because of everything going on, and I really aired it out like, fuck this guy, blah blah blah. I'm gonna start with this. Tyler Robinson did not shoot Charlie Kirk.
Is where you think you gotta say
No,
that bold.
this isn't bold. This is almost fact. This is where it's like verified but not verified. You know what I mean?
Damn, I
Like,
wish you
you can
told me
say
about
this
this. I would have
with
done my homework.
confidence. Well, I wanted to kind of spring this on you because I didn't know how you were gonna react. So I was like, I'm
No,
just gonna
I'm
throw this at
interested in this
Marco.
because I
Hope for
know
this.
I know
All
the
right,
rabbit hole you're about to go on,
ready?
and I.
So first off, Candace Owen goes on, I forget if it was X or whatever, on her social medias and was like, "This is huge. I have heard from sources directly from related to Tyler, not necessarily related, but very close to Tyler. Um, the media, and they are saying that Tyler is suicidal and that all this other stuff about him being, right now he's obviously he's in holding. He is not suicidal. Tyler Robinson is not suicidal. He's never been to UVU. He's never actually been to the place where Charlie Kirk has been shot. Also, it's all fiction about him being suicidal and him, when his family, his dad was the one that turned him in when he found out what was going on. All of that is fiction. None of that is true. This was a gimmick to try to make it seem like he did it. We're gonna start here. The images that you've seen, which everybody has seen of Tyler, running, jumping off the building, everything. If you haven't noticed, they're all blurry. You can't actually see his face in any video of the supposed shooter. They're all blurry, which is, all right, fine. It's a distance. It's a campus, CCTV. It's not going to be the greatest, but they're all blurry. All right, number one. Now, mind you, this is one of the biggest political figures, for the right side. You would think maybe they would have a little bit more, definition on these cameras around the campus, compared to these, gas station videos.
Mhm.
Now this is I'm gonna change around my format because I was gonna go a little wonky, but we're gonna change around a little bit. All right. So big thing was his Discord messages about him saying how he changed and how he was like hiding with he was like
Yeah.
sitting with the gun and around the campus and waiting. He wasn't the author of these Discord messages. He wasn't the one that posted them. He wasn't the one that wrote them. He was only around the campus. He was never on campus. A big thing is, so Charlie Kirk was shot at 12:23 p.m. on the 10th of September. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
At 6:38 p.m., there is a very clear photo of Tyler picking up dinner at Dairy Queen, getting maybe a chicken finger box, whatever. I don't know what it was. He was very content. He was very like nonchalant. Like he didn't just shoot one of the biggest political figures out right now, one of the biggest names that everybody knows. He was acting totally casual, like nothing's going on. Another big thing was the media was going on about how he wore one outfit at the actual campus and then he changed and he was in a total different outfit later.
Yeah, that shit was fucking suspicious.
Problem everybody's been saying that. The problem is the outfit he's wearing in the photo that very clearly shows his face, very clearly shows who that is. He's wearing half of his morning outfit and half of his afternoon outfit. You would think if you just shot somebody, you would change your entire outfit. No. He changed his shirt and he had the red shirt on that they were saying he was wearing in the afternoon. Or no, I'm sorry. I think the red shirt was in the morning. He was still wearing the red shirt. But he was different. No, I'm sorry. I was right the first time. Same pants, same dark pants, different shirt. But they were saying totally different things. They were saying he had that red shirt in the afternoon, but a different style pant in the afternoon. But in the morning, different shirt, same pants. So the whole thing with the outfit, he's wearing half of what they're saying from the morning and afternoon. You would think if you just did something like that, you would change your outfit. Like you obviously probably have a little gun residue, whatever the case would be. Obviously you have a little bit on you from shooting. They say he was nearby babysitting the rifle around the time of around I believe 7 they were saying. The Dairy Queen is 15 minutes from the campus. You would think if he's driving back and forth to go pick up Dairy Queen in the middle of all this, you'd see. I believe he drives a Charger. I could be wrong about this. I don't know. This doesn't really matter much, but you would think you would see his car going back and forth from the campus, leaving, coming back. But apparently his Charger was there the whole time. He was 15 minutes away at a Dairy Queen. This is a huge one, and I actually, fuck, Where's my phone? I need to, before I say this, I need to send you something because this is this the is this the, ready? Go to your TikTok really quick. I gotta send you this because this breaks it down a little bit about what I'm about to say. And Marco, you're going to be the witness, or you know what I mean, you're gonna be for the people that I can't send the video to be able to comment, like just seeing it for the first time. Did you get it?
Yeah, I'm gonna mute so I don't get
All
that.
right.
Yeah, I already
And
like that. You
while you
follow?
watch, okay,
I
the
watched it.
video is fake. The
Yeah.
video of him jumping off the guy jumping off the roof and running away is fake. You can see clearly, anybody that has any kind of knowledge about how videos work, there is a shadow, how the sun works in general. You have a shadow. You see halfway through the video, he's running a straight path. Halfway through, he loses his shadow. There's no buildings covering him. It's apparent when this happened and he's running away, it is, maybe around 12:23, 12:24.
Yeah.
It is dead middle of the day. If he has a shadow in the beginning, he's gonna keep the same shadow. Shadow disappears. Secondly, you can see in the background how the frames shift on the building. They shift slightly. It's, you have to really be looking for it, but you can clearly see it's altered. It's moved. Also, there's in the background of the video, you see people just casually walking. This one pedestrian is walking and just disappears in the middle of the video behind this tree. If you look on the campus, there's no paths that are directly behind that tree that, oh, maybe he took a right onto a different path. There's no path. He just drops out of the frame or out of the video. This pedestrian in the background is no longer there. The whole thing, you can clearly tell, was fabricated and moved around. You can see him jumping off. It's just the video is not how what's the best way to put it? It's not a full video. You can see it's broken down and changed and shifted. Secondly, if you've seen the video of like somebody being in the crowd looking backwards at the top of the building and him getting up and running away, he starts running before the gun goes off. Before everybody ducks, you can clearly see him get up and start making his way away as the bullet's going off. That's, for all of you that have shot before, that's not how it works. If you're making a 200-yard shot, you are stable, you are taking that shot and then moving. You're not moving and shooting at the same time. That's not happening. All right, that's going to pertain that. Now we're gonna get a little backstory.
Hold on. Before we move on, I want to quickly date the whole testament about them. What the FBI people originally said about how they found the gun in a towel wrapped in a forest outside of it, and then they said that he shot the gun, disassembled the gun, then got down, and then put the gun back together, and then wrapping it up back in, like, that doesn't make any fucking sense.
And the backpack that he's in the video that the guy's running away with, there's no it's not big enough for a rifle of that caliber to make that shot. That rifle would not fit in that backpack. It is a normal high school backpack or college backpack you'd wear for your books. It's not big enough to house a full-size AR in the backpack. And you would see it wouldn't be running with them. You would see it really moving because it has a lot of extra weight in the back. Because for those of you that have shot before, guns of that caliber are not exactly light. Also, they're not just 5 pounds, or I shouldn't say they're not like 2-3 pounds. They're a good 7 to 10 pounds, if not more. That you're gonna see a shift as he's running away.
Also, the whole thing about like the bullet, the one thing that they kept praising is that his body withstood the bullet, and it's a miracle that the bullet stopped in his neck instead of
nope.
The caliber that they said it is, the bullets will fucking go through a fucking like moose 100%. Or deer.
Marco, explain that a little bit. I'll be right back.
good.
Explain what you mean
Um,
about that.
so I'm not 100% sure on what the caliber of gun that they've said. Again, this is Troy just brought this up, so I'm kind of like piggybacking off what he's saying. But from what I've seen online, and I've done a little bit of research on this, because I have also have gone down this rabbit hole. The caliber that the FBI is claiming that killed Charlie Kirk is like this big militarized sniper rifle. But obviously, we saw in the if some of you guys unfortunately saw the video, the bullet stopped into his neck, and that's how he died and bled out. But like ex-military people and people who know stuff about guns have done research about it, and the caliber of rifle and bullet that is supposed to be used for this gun would go through a fucking people say like deer or moose, like particular caliber of bullet can go through animals like it's butter.
Sorry about that.
But the people that are saying that obviously if you saw the video, the bullet got lodged in his neck and
Yes.
stayed in his neck, which kind of people who know
And
about
I'm going.
guns. Go ahead.
No, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I'm going to elaborate more about that because there's actually more
Uh-huh.
um, on that topic as well. Because you were exactly right. You were exactly right. You would have a bullet hole through the back, I shouldn't say soft tissue, but where he got shot, it is just veins and tissue. It's not exactly skull right there, or if anything, it's the bare side of the spine. It's not. It's not going to stop a bullet. It's not going to stop that caliber of bullet. I forget what they said what shot him, but to get back to what I was saying about Erica Kirk, this is a doozy. This is where shit gets a little wonky, if I do say so myself. So, Erica was introduced to Charlie through Donald Trump and the party and their like association together. She was made for his sponsored pageants, and she actually won Miss Arizona as well as other pageants. She was a registered actress on a romance show. They met in Israel. He was he was doing something with the wall there. He was doing what they I'm not gonna say what they call it anyway. And she was on a pilgrimage, basically on like a missions trip over there. For those of you that know what a missions trip, it's like you go out and help the needy or help the you help. I guess
People in
confirm
need.
your faith, as well as help the community over there. Um, Now it gets deeper. Erica's father, he is the creator slash founder of the Raytheon Tech division in Israel, which those of you that don't know, Raytheon is the company that made like the Iron Dome over there, and has been soaking up trillions of dollars from the U.S. government for years, tens of years, billions every year. They're a huge company, and he was the, I believe, president. For a while. He is retired. He's no longer over there, but he was top dog over there for a while. Um, and then about 24 hours after the shooting, yeah, I'm sure you saw the video of her, holding Charlie's hand, like saying "I love you" and all that jazz. The big propaganda video, a big. We don't know if that's actually him. Um, it's a very. I'm trying to circle the masses behind me and everything going on, and kind of say how much I love my husband
Are
and
you
get behind
going
it a little
down the
bit more.
rabbit hole I think you're
Oh,
going down?
I'm going a little bit farther.
Are you trying to allude that Israel had something to do with this? Or are you going down a
Hold on.
different
Hold on. Then, um in the big ceremony in Arizona, and was it in the NFL stadium or whatever stadium, in Arizona where he's originally from? They held his ceremony, and Erica spoke, Trump spoke, not
a bunch
Pence,
of other people?
yeah, the vice president spoke, all those spoke. She goes, she like, mid sobbing, she goes, and I forgive that young man. quote, or I should say, end quote. I forgive that young man. With her doing that, immediately everybody's brain internalizes and says, he's guilty. He's the one that did it. I'm not going to think twice about it because she's forgiving him as a good Christian faith would. It's a very big way to resonate with fellow Christians to just straight up say, he did it, without saying he did it. Does that make sense to you? By her saying that to everybody, I forgive him, everybody is like, yes, you go, girl. But immediately in everybody's minds, he's now guilty of the shooting. He's now the one that did it without a second thought.
I just think it's fishy, and I'm sure you're gonna
And
talk
with
about
her
it.
doing that, sorry, I'll let you go and then I'll keep going.
I'm just saying how like that whole conversation about the whole like memorial service, that was just not a memorial service. I've seen celebrity memorial services that just did not. For one,
That was a rally. That
that
was
it
a
literally
rally around Erica.
that was a Republican Christian mass
I wouldn't say
church.
Republican. It was
It
a
was
very
Republican.
Christian. No,
It
hold
was
on.
Republican.
It was a no, hold on. It was a very Christian oriented rally around Erica in support of Charlie.
Come on, I
Yes, of
mean,
course, the
I
Republican Party was there, but they are the current president and vice president and
they were
whatnot.
selling MAGA hats outside of that rally.
Anybody could also be selling MAGA hats. They're
The
gonna do
point
that. They're
is, like
gonna
you
make
said,
money.
it was a
But
rally.
yes,
I'm just
yes,
trying to
it was
say
a
that
rally
they
around Erica, and to that point, there's a possibility that they're doing this to try to set her up in the next, 8-10 years to be one of the next
VP.
presidential candidates
No, she's gonna be JD Vance's
or a
VP.
VP yeah, exactly,
I
or a
tweeted that
VP.
out. It is the most, and I'm so glad you mentioned it because I tweeted it out a few weeks ago. It's the most obvious slam dunk, alley oop fucking.
Exactly,
It
the
is so
biggest.
obvious that
Yep,
because JD Vance is not popular among the Republican Party, so they need somebody who
and
people look up
if
to, and that's fucking gonna be Erica Kirk. It's so obvious that
and a
she's gonna
big
be
thing with
VP.
that is Charlie got sent out to Arizona for how we don't know exactly where he went after the shooting. He went on JD Vance's private jet to who knows where. Which by the way, they don't have the logs for where that plane went afterwards. But anyway,
Also, I don't know. I'm sure you're gonna mention it real quick. For one, because you kind of got the conversation started. Is that like I've watched a good chunk of that service, and like almost everybody's like ideologies and all these people are saying they didn't really focus on Charlie as a human, as if just like he was a good Republican Christian, he was a Christian, he was a
is
man
an
at heart,
icon.
faith, but they didn't talk about him personally. I feel like it was very
Correct.
fake, except for Erica, obviously. Um, but the whole shit with like first off, like it's kind of obscure, but like the whole pyrotechnics, like that was just a little too much. I don't know why the fuck they have pyrotechnics at a memorial service for one. But then like kind of like what you were saying is that like and I forgot my fucking train of thought, but basically like it felt like more of a like Erica Kirk. I'm now gonna be a new public face. I'm now gonna be the face of the VP in
Correct.
the future. I'm gonna be very. It sounded like a very slam like an alley oop from like
Yes.
it just and like I'm sure you're gonna mention it, but like. Cause again, I'm gonna let you continue after this, but like it felt like more people were in. I hate saying this, but I fucking agree with Nick Fuentes, and he's the biggest piece of shit ever. But I agree with him with the fact that she's like she's not. I don't want to judge anybody's coping mechanism for people lost, but she's just seems a little off. She seems way too
Right back into
not.
it, trying to build the corporation again. Yeah.
She seemed to be more focused on Turning Point than
Correct. Then
all of
like
that, and
mourning
it
his
really
death a little
makes
bit.
me feel like
Now,
that doesn't sit right with me.
yeah. Now everybody grieves differently. Maybe she's putting her grief into, making Turning Point better and like really trying to, get out there and get to the different campuses and really talk and keep going with Charlie's message. However, I don't know about that. One big thing is about 5 weeks leading up to his death, Charlie Kirk started questioning the. He started to ask questions about the about the whole Israeli Jewish leaders and what they're doing over there and what they're
The
pushing
Israel-Palestine
a little bit.
conflict.
Yes. Because they kind of wanted him to be a, yeah, I support, the Israel Jewish party and everything over there. Crazy enough, 24 hours before his death, the top Jewish funders pulled their funding.
From
24
Turning
hours
Point,
before his
yeah.
death. No, before his death. Yeah, from Turning Point before his death. 24 hours they pulled the funding because he was questioning them too much. He started, and you can see in interviews, he doesn't like when somebody mentioned it, that he's like, oh well, I don't know. Like, I wouldn't say that. I don't know if it's the greatest thing going on right now. A little bit skeptical about it, and 24 hours they pull the funding.
Yeah.
It's really creating a very Judeo-Christian connection, which I think is the end goal. I think the whole goal is to, because what they were really trying to do before is there was billboards and whatnot of him in Israel, of like him, supporting the Jewish party and all that. And they started, because he started questioning, they were like, no, take it down, take all the stuff down. We don't want any part of him and all of this because he's questioning us now. And it was a big thing because he was a big, going over there, a big supporter, and now he's questioning them and really voicing his opinion about it. I don't know exactly what he was saying. That's one thing I didn't get enough time to look into. I did see some videos and some clips and whatnot of it. I don't remember off the top of my head. I only grabbed these really quick.
I do know what you're talking about. So to kind of like piggyback off of it, like the thing is that like the last couple of weeks, like you said, like he not only that, but he was questioning his faith and then
Yes.
Christianity because he was a very strict. He was thinking about there's a multitude of things that the last couple of weeks question his loyalty to like certain people.
Yes.
He was one of
Especially
those
that.
people. He was one of the people, one of the few Republican conservative who wanted the release of the Epstein files, and then he got yelled at for it, and then he said, "You know what? Leave it to the government." And then plus go along
Correct.
with what you said with his pro-Israel people back, stopped funding him for Turning Point. It wasn't. I've seen I've seen that the stuff you were talking about as well. The thing
Mhm.
is that like it would be very questionable for Charlie Kirk's career if he would have started going against Israel publicly, because as long as this current administration's funding Israel, I don't think he would publicly say that he
Which
dis.
is why he was starting to question, saying like, "Why are we doing this? What they're doing over there isn't great." They're. Do I have? I just want to see.
As he fucking should, bro. Fuck
Okay,
Israel.
I have a little bit more about it. That this like how should I put it? Unofficially, what I'll say is I've heard that the Jewish party is kind of trying to take over Israel right now. They're trying to actually get rid of about 4 million people there. Now, you know, take it as you will when I say get rid of 4 million people
Well, Israel's
over in
committing a
Israel.
genocide over there.
Correct. He's not a big fan of it. However, he started speaking about it, and here we are. He started questioning it, and whenever it came up, he would avoid supporting the Jewish party. That was the biggest thing. He would avoid supporting when people would ask. He was I shouldn't say was no longer, but he would avoid it. He wouldn't answer like he used to. Um, Now, this is the biggest thing. Who did kill Charlie Kirk? I strongly, and there's many reasons why, deeper than what I have to this. One of the biggest things that I believe is that the Israeli security detail that he had with him on that day were the ones that set him up and killed him.
Shit, that
To
is
elaborate,
bold. Oh, but
it's a bold
I
topic, but hold on. I got I can actually send you. Actually, I'll wait to send you that some more stuff. If I don't know if you've seen it or not. So one thing is the lapel mic that he wears, on the clip of his shirt or on his collar that's sitting right there, right below his neckline to, speak into.
Mm.
Right as the shot went off, that exploded. The lapel mic, you can see jolt back, and you can kind of see it jolt back. His shirt goes forward away from it, though, kind of like something just sprung. And you can see that the supposed bullet hole where it went in on his neck is actually an exit wound. And the reason I'm saying that is because you were saying earlier about how everybody was saying that, it got lodged in him. However, I don't know exactly who's investigating it. I'm going to guess the FBI. The investigators said they're actually looking for the bullet, which, if the case is that there is only one hole, or, supposedly one hole at that front of his neck where everybody's saying is where it went in at, where it actually went out of, if it did go in and didn't come out, you would think they wouldn't be saying they're looking for a bullet because it's in him, clearly.
Also, do you think it's a little
But they
suspicious
tripped up with
how
that.
they say that they weren't gonna do an autopsy on him? They never did an
Correct,
autopsy on him
100%.
because again,
Yep.
it's fucking covering up for something bigger. It also makes me
Yes.
question the fucking FBI's loyalty as well, because it's very clearly not in the right mind space.
Yes.
It's very, because I've also seen other multiple theories that there was actually a second shooter, though, like he
Off
wasn't
to
the
the
only
side. Off to the side, and then there's the guy running by with the AR
and
strap
some guy in a
in a
full
bag, like
suit,
literally
and
sticking
yeah,
out of a
yeah.
bag, running by after it happened, running away.
Somebody said that somebody in the front row had a sleeve gun, like a
Oh,
gun
I'm
hidden in
gonna
their
send you
sleeve.
that. I have that. No, right? So you
I
actually,
already know
there's
what you're
a
talking about.
video
Yeah.
of the Israeli security detail that's standing in front of him watching. He goes up to his sleeve. As he like presses something in his sleeve, the gunshot goes off and the lapel goes and everything like that. That same guy jumps over the counter to Charlie,
Mm.
grabs what looks to be, it seems like he grabs something. The guy, or no, I'm sorry, someone jumps over the table. Seems like they grab something. The guy with the supposed thing in his sleeve runs over together to another guy. The guy with the sleeve seems to hand something off to another guy, as well as the guy that was with Charlie that grabs something off of Charlie, hands it to the same guy. That guy then runs away. He sticks something in his pocket and runs off. And everybody then goes back to tending to Charlie. It's very clearly seen that what exactly it was, don't know, but you can clearly see somebody hop over, grab something off of Charlie. The same guy that supposedly did something with his sleeve runs over to they both run to the same guy. They both hand something off, and that guy runs off.
Yeah. Also, the camera that was behind Charlie Kirk, they took the
Oh,
camera
hold on.
down and destroyed the
I'm ready.
SD card.
I got that. Nope, I got that. Ready. I'm ready for that. I got something on that too. So, when it comes to, I want to make sure I'm covering all my checks and balances before I say that. Yeah, okay. So, Candace, actually, that you can clearly see in multiple videos after the shooting, Charlie, is carted off. One big thing is the police did not secure the scene. Police didn't rush over, after he's taken into the car. They didn't, while that's happening, no police, no government officials come over to secure the crime scene. You'd think one of the biggest political people of this generation just got shot. You would think they want to preserve the crime scene and not move things around or do anything or, touch anything. Nope. Nobody comes over to secure it. The guy goes, moves the chair, he goes up to the camera, takes the camera down, clearly takes the SD card out, and leaves. That guy is actually in Turning Point America, and Candace actually, she's very big in Turning Point and was like, look, who is that? What's his name? Found out who it was, got in contact with him. He said He does have the SD card, but he will not be releasing it. However, he did show her the footage. She will not be releasing the footage either. However, she fully described what she saw, and that's nothing. There's no gore. It's the least gore video out there. There's no gore. There's no blood. On the backside of Charlie, nothing happens. Going back to our point, with if it's from that trajectory above, shooting straight into him, something's coming out the back of him. Nothing. Number two, if this so-called all of this happened, there would be something on the back of his neck, like any kind of splatter pattern or something, but the back of him was totally clear. There was absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And that goes back to the whole they're looking for a bullet, but I thought it was lodged in him, and if that was the case, you'd clearly have the bullet, but you're still looking for a bullet. That they do have the footage. They didn't destroy it. They just are not releasing it. I don't know if they're going to destroy it now. I don't know what the case is. But there's nothing to be
they're
seen.
just like
That's the bad
waiting
part.
for the case to die down.
Yeah,
At this point,
that back camera shows nothing happening to the back of Charlie.
I mean, yeah. It's
There's
just
no
like
exit hole, no blood, no nothing.
I definitely do think it's fairly suspicious for multiple reasons, but like one of the things being is that like one of the things, and again, it is a theory, so take it with a grain of salt. But like obviously, I don't, I'm just saying this is what somebody thinks, is that because it was a big thing that the president of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, whatever the fuck, asked Charlie Kirk if he wanted to go to Israel, and Charlie Kirk said no. When he got interviewed like a couple hours after he was announced that he died, he went on the news saying, I have a letter from you from Charlie Kirk. He, mind you, he never showed the news. That's one of the things that Candace Owens was asking for Benjamin to release, the quote unquote letter that Charlie Kirk wrote him, saying that he loves Israel and he supports it, a little fishy. The thing that I
There's no
saw is that
letter.
people are
There's no
thinking
letter.
that Edgar Kirk took a big donation for Turning Point USA from Israel, but in order to do that, Charlie Kirk needed to pay the price and like because
Support it. And he
it's
wouldn't.
it's definitely fishy that she's not. I told you that, and I texted you that. Like it's so weird to see other people, including Candace Owens, doing more extensive research and investigating than the U.S. government.
Correct.
They've already said, yeah, we're done. It's Tyler Robinson. It's this guy. He definitely did it.
Correct. Which is why all this coming out now. It's a big deal now. It's no longer, cut clean. Another thing I do want to put out there. So where the shooting happened, within 24 hours, that space was under construction.
Yeah, because the people think that there was underground tunnels and shit, and there's that video evidence.
That part I don't know, but to that I'm not sure. But the more logical thing is one of a humongous political figure was just assassinated in front of thousands of people live on video. You would think you would want to contain that crime scene and actually look around a little bit longer and really, mark it off and, actually have a crime scene like any normal situation would be. They totally block it off. They totally, investigate everything. Within 24 hours, it's a totally new space. They're like redoing a ton of it. It looks totally different now. Or no, I'm sorry, 48. Did I say 24? 48 hours later. Not even 2 days, they're doing construction on it. And people have tried to figure out who authorized this, who is, who put this through, who pushed it. Nobody will make a comment on it. Nobody will comment why. Like nobody will comment if this was planned, if this was a planned construction beforehand or not. Nobody will comment if who authorized it. Personally, the whole thing is now fishy. It stinks. Stinks like
Are you
fish.
trying to
It's all fishy.
question the government, Troy, in our
Oh, I know,
administration
crazy.
right now? Are you trying to?
No, crazy. I know.
This is a different arc
And
that
I know.
I'm.
Usually you don't let me go down my rabbit holes, but this one I'm like I have to.
No,
This is
because for
very national
once in a
news.
blue moon, I'm agreeing with you on a lot of this. I
Now,
definitely do think that.
now there I have. Oh, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. I have one last thing. This is a little bit. It's related, but not exactly to Charlie Kirk exactly, and I'll explain. Do you want me to explain? Sorry, I
Yeah,
did
sure,
kind of cut
good.
you off in the middle. All right.
No, good.
So, in 1998, a
Hey,
film came out titled Snake Eyes. The I should say the film was about a very popular political figure named or sorry, I should let me take that back. The plot was about a public assassination of a US politician named Charles Kirkland.
I think I saw something similar. Yeah.
He was shot and killed on September 10th. And guess where he was shot at or
Yeah.
shot in? Through the neck.
Yeah.
This film came out in 1998. A little bit of a glitch in the matrix, if I shall say.
It's a little weird
Now,
coincidence.
mind you, I don't want to become a kook and be like, oh, what's going on? It's a little too specific about exactly what happened on the exact same day at the exact same way of assassination with almost the identical name. A little bit of a glitch in the matrix. Oh, I will say so, which is crazy because it came out, what is that? 27 years prior.
Yeah.
That one's a little bit more of a push, but clearly, everybody listening and you can clearly see the dots line up exactly the same.
I think it's just a
So,
extremely strange coincidence.
strange, yes. Coincidence? I'll let that, I'll let the people decide on that.
I just think that
That's the end of my
everything
scoop.
is
For
suspicious.
those
I
of you
think that
that
our
didn't know.
current administration and government are currently trying to like swipe this shit under the rug to like get it over with quick. I literally let me check because it's the most obvious like setup in the world with
Yeah,
Erica
when
Kirk
when you
being.
start connecting the dots, which I hope doing this, people that, obviously we don't have that many listeners, but doing this, I hope the people that do listen can see how everything kind of connects together a little too well to make this just a simple he did it, see you later. And for them to make it a he did it, see you later, let's cover everything else. Literally, let's cover up the crime scene by making a brand new,
Yeah.
area there.
I
The
tweeted
whole
out
thing's messy.
back in September 23rd that mark my word, because I got a good feeling in 2028 when JD Vance will run for president, we'll pick Erica Kirk to be VP. The cards are too much in line not to happen. I could see it coming from 3 years from now, and it's so true. Because I just think it's too suspicious, and I really do think the people could wake the fuck up and realize that it's not even a bold statement. Our fucking government isn't not even being run by us. It's from fucking Israel. Israel is just like so much involved in American politics. And this goes not even just during Trump. It goes to like the past 20, 30 years. Um,
Yeah. And those of
I
you
can,
that don't know, they do keep just bombing the shit out of Israel. They
who
keep just
you mean
um
Palestine and
sorry,
Gaza?
Palestine. Yep. They just keep doing it. And we're like, "Hey,
Mind you,
calm
like
down.
the
Maybe
shit that's
like you don't
going
need to
on in
keep going."
there
And they
is
keep going. They
majority
kind of want us
funded.
to cover it up a little bit. It seems like.
Let me look this up because this is a point that. Uh,
Yeah, but for those of you that stuck around this long, I hope you're a little bit more filled in. I tried to collect from a whole bunch of different sources and kind of fill in dots, make a little bit of a timeline of like how everything connects together. That way, everybody can be on the same page and actually understand what's going on. Like, of course, some of it's circumstantial, some of it's video. There's video of it happening. Other things are, they're being told by close representatives of some of the different parties involved.
Yeah.
Um,
I also want to point out that majority of the shit that Israel is doing to, Gaza, um, majority of that is U.S. payer tax dollars. According to this, $3.8 billion plus significant supplement military emergency funding approved by Congress in 2024-25. So we're
yep,
technically, with our
we're
fucking
funding.
taxpayer dollars, we're funding this fucking genocide, and it's sickening. It is absolutely, that's a conversation for another day. That's a whole different topic.
Yep.
My stance is fucking free Palestine and Gaza. We're funding a fucking genocide. It sickens me. It we're not. Everything's run by fucking Israel. Everything is. We're not doing nothing about it, and it fucking is sick. It absolutely makes me fucking sick. So that's why I
Yeah.
ended there because I can go on this for. I definitely do think, it's a very good possibility that Israel has something to do with this. I wouldn't be surprised because they're fucking corrupt and evil as shit.
Yes.
Um, but yeah, tell me what you guys think. Um, no, yeah, I'm very fascinated you went down that rabbit hole. I'm very glad you did. The one thing I want
That's
to
why I was
ask,
like, I gotta collect it together before the podcast. I'm like, I have to air this out.
I
I'm like,
wish you told me
and
because
I
I would have helped you a lot because I definitely have
no,
a
that's
definitely
what
more.
the thing was. It was like late at night. I just kept seeing video after video after video, and I kind of just
See,
started
I'm
saving
glad. No,
stuff.
I'm glad that
I'm
you're
like, let
going
me
down that
save
shit.
this. Let
You're
me save
questioning
this.
our
Let me save
corrupted
that.
government.
Yeah. Well, we get into that, but that's beside the point.
I love it. Um, the thing is that, and without making it too political, is that did you see Trump's speech at Charlie Kirk's memorial?
No.
I really, really encourage you and a bunch of people at home to watch it. It felt really, really strange. It felt really, and it's such a dark time as we're going now. Obviously, again, the whole focal point a couple episodes ago was we're more divided than united. I just feel like
Now we can be united, but on a different front.
no,
Not
but
a
like
side versus side, but
I
like
just think
a
that
unique
no, I'm
government
not done. I'm not
wise.
done. I just
Right.
think that his speech gave off not united. I feel like he's trying to. I mean, this is from my perspective, and I really encourage you to watch this before you disagree or when I say something. But like, it just felt weird. He kept
No,
saying,
I
"Oh, Charlie
I
Kirk,
have heard that. Yes.
Charlie Kirk, invited his political opponents. He wanted what's best for them. He wanted to do this. Not me though. I hate my opponents. I don't want them to like that. Hey, motherfucker, just because you disagree with me politically doesn't mean you have to fucking hate on me and call me out. I'm just saying, big red flag, biggest of red flags. I hope I don't want what's best for my opponents, which means that people don't vote for me or to support me. I don't want what's best for them. You're the president of the United States. You're supposed to be dividing the people, or rather, they voted you or did not vote for you. I'm just saying, a little suspicious, big red
Yep.
flag.
I agree.
But that's where I'll leave it. That's gonna do it.
Thanks
What a
gonna do it.
weird. I like the
I don't know.
episode. We talked from everything. But tell what you guys think. A little conspiracy theory
I would
episode.
love to hear in the comments, if there's any more perspectives that we're missing. There's a couple other things I have seen. I didn't feel like they were concrete enough compared to what I brought up to bring
Yeah.
up on the podcast for you guys because
And
you know with all the information out there, there is so much information that you can easily get twisted back around and being like, oh well, this yeah clearly actually no this. I wanted to make it as clean cut as I possibly could, and try to like the very oh, there was a glint from here. You could kind of see this guy running by with like he had this kind of strap. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, this
yeah,
is more clean cut. You can clearly see everything lines up way too easily. So that's why I want to make it a little bit more simpler than go all routes,
Yeah.
and try to really round it for you guys and round it for
People
Marco to be so we can talk about it more.
that people at the end of the day need to do their own research. You're entitled to believe whatever you want to believe.
100%. You should
Obviously
always
take
do your own research.
but yeah, especially before you fucking Karen your shit. Be a Karen in the comments and saying, "Oh, Charlie Kirk was a great man." Okay, sure, but like the shit behind it.
Charlie Kirk was a great man, but the situation not so great. That whole thing is, yeah, fucked, to say the least.
But people are entitled to their opinions, and people are entitled to research. Go do your research before you type in our comments. That's just what I gotta say.
Yes,
If you
please.
enjoy more topics like this, consider subscribing. It's free. Um, do what you gotta do. All of our stuff will be in the description down below. You already know the drill. Tell what you guys think in the comments. We're
Of
really
course.
curious. So,
Yep.
any closing statements, Troy?
No, I just hope you guys have a good rest of your week, and we'll see you guys next Wednesday.
Indubitably. Oh, we'll see ya and peace.
Peace.